Okay, so first we want to hear from, that's Audit LA. Is there an Audit LA here?
I am. Good morning, commissioners and everyone. Oh, that's right. Thank you for the reminder. See, he's always really good at reminding everyone, and he's very good at, responsiveness. So you get a kudos you do a good job. And I'm happy to see Commissioner Davis at the helm today. I can't lie. I hope that you become the next president of the council and that we can make Commissioner Corson, what's next in line, vice president or pro tem? I don't know, but yeah. And then the new guy, he's very friendly, so I like him too. Not that I don't like anyone else. We like everybody. But I just wanted to remind you that, I want to give some good news. Okay, the good news is that for right now, the L. Ron Hubbard is opened up, which is a miracle. It's been 6 months of, banging on doors, and it's finally opened up. I don't know for how long, because it looks like they do have some more nonsensical, permits coming. But the planters are still there. The ones that are not ADA compliant for 3 blocks are still not there. So you're kind of still stuck with me. I'm sorry. I know you'd love to get rid of me. Like, I know you think they'd be like so happy when I'm done with all this and I'm out of here. But for now, you're stuck with me because we're still not there yet. But, and I also wanted to say, I was looking into, because I did want to thank the vice president for the other day who did ask the city attorneys, well, like, what can we do? What's, to help? But then I looked into your rules of what you guys can do. And it does say that you guys have the power to do something based on either your own initiative or a complaint against any of the divisions underneath you to get things straight. So you guys do have the power to go to street services and to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to ask you, please go to street services and tell them to stop with these endless permits and to please get these non-ADA compliant planters off of these 3 blocks. Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to also note for the record that
y'all committing a ground and violation. Y'all know y'all supposed to take general comment first.
Audit LA.
Hi again. I want to say that, I think they're doing a great job. I'm really impressed. Oh, sorry. I know the microphone. Thank you for the reminder. I'm actually impressed that you guys are saying how much you did to get not only the proper permits, but to really check with the whole community about what they want. I have a feeling they're going to self-regulate and make sure they do everything by the book and that you're going to be good neighbors. So I appreciate that, because I was originally going to say, I'm not no necessarily, but holding the commission to task, because as we know, the Church of Scientology does not do that. They work on their buildings, pouring cement without permits. They get endless street closure permits, and all that stuff. So there's not a whole lot of oversight. But I trust them. They're going to do their own oversight, I think. So I'm going to stand behind them and say yes, because San Pedro's is a lovely area. And there's nothing like a good sign, right, to let people know. So when I go, I'm looking forward to seeing it. You're going to help me know where to go, right? So I support them. And I also want to give, when it comes to the order, I want to thank you that you didn't put public comment to the end, Commissioner Davis, because that's what the vice president likes to do, so nobody's heard. And that's not fair. So thank you for this agenda item. And although I think that the public is more important than a city councilman, but I do understand that you guys are doing professional courtesy, so I'm not going to go too hard on that. But I do thank you that you are going straight back to public comment. I salute you for that. But yeah, let's give San Pedro their sign. And please regulate yourself, okay, though? Make sure that you're good neighbors always. Thank you. Yeah, let's do it. And I yield back the rest of my time.
thank you,
For comment.
If you'd like, we can resume public comments at this time, since we did interrupt this your pro councilmember McCosker. Okay, so we do have a number of other public commenters on the Zoom platform.
Okay, good. See,
Go ahead
he's doing right.
Mona M.
All right,
Mona M,
Mona.
I'm going to ask you to unmute. Hopefully we'll be able to hear you. Go ahead, you have 2 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, you may be wondering why I'm here every week, sometimes twice a week. In March, an incident, a help sign was put up on a window of the blue building in Scientology. Officers were called, and this is the relation, I'll get to the relationship of this. Officers were called, and when they got there, they checked the security, and then just left. Didn't even investigate the sign, and I'm sure the person was punished that put it there. After that incident, the planners were placed there to stop demonstrators. The street was closed off to further deny us our First Amendment rights. People are not there protesting religion, but the abuse and the human trafficking within the so-called religion. A few weeks ago, there was a gentleman that was trafficked here from another state. Scientology put him out on the street with $12 to his name. That was it. No way to get back home or even a room for the night. Why? Because they found out he was gay. 2 nights ago, I was watching the demonstrators down at the Blue Building, having a barbecue, feeding the unhoused, when I saw a person take a child, maybe 9 or 10 years old, into the building. And I was screaming at the TV, "Kids cannot consent!" Why didn't I call the police? Because to the outside world or even the police, it looks like a simple act, but it's not. Children are being physically and mentally abused, mentally tortured, and sexually exploited, held in a jail without a due process at that Blue Building. So, when I'm asking you to do your duty to remove the planners, which is an ADA justice violation, which is prohibiting me from obtaining my First Amendment right of free speech to expose the Pope. That is why I'm here, week after week, and I yield back my time.
And that's 2 minutes. Thank you, Mona M.
Great job, Mona. Perfect.
You'll have 2 minutes to talk your commentary. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, thank you. I just want to first start off by thanking Commissioner Davis for doing the right thing, although you did veer off path there for a moment and did not stick to the agenda, but nonetheless, you at least tried, and I want to give commendation for that. So I appreciate that, but next time do please stick to the agenda items as they appear, which is general public comment being taken personal always. Second, I do also want to commend the folks that have worked behind the scenes to make the clearance of a more comfort way possible. Because those permits, as we all know from Bureau of Street Services, are absolutely bogus, and they explicitly apply just to the parking lot that Scientology owns. So we can all agree that Elmont Way is a public street and we're going to remain as such. So it is clear now, and we shall remain, we shall keep it clear. Because it is in fact a public street and not a privately owned land by the cult of Scientology. Secondly, I just want to also share that the building on Fountain Avenue that Scientology owns on 4715 Fountain Avenue, that building needs to have a lien placed on it, and Scientology needs to be charged with felony vandalism. That's California PC 594. There's been massive destruction of public property, namely the sidewalks. Put a lien on the building, charge it. City attorney representative, I know you're there, I know you're hearing me. You want real vandalism charge? Charge them with felony vandalism, okay? They've absolutely destroyed the sidewalk. Michael got his case dropped. My case, you bet your ass is gonna have its case dropped. Do your damn job, okay, and go after the real criminals. And also, why haven't you charged the residents with indecent exposure? It's absolutely disgusting. You need to go after the real
Thank you, that's 2 minutes. And we'll move
Great
next
job,
to
man.
Kenny. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling about the plant. They still ain't moved the planters. And then, if you know this for a month, L. Ron Hubbard Way was like they had hangers with sheets hanging all around like they in an army or something. But anyway, 2 people beat the case. They knew the cameras was coming because they was gonna celebrate. All of a sudden, when the cameras y'all think just because these kids and these people that's being, trapped in a blue building, they can't just run out? Why do you think they have security riding around and like standing out all the entrances and exits? Because they can't leave. That's how they can't tell and call for help. They can't have cell phones. Look at Jennifer, the head of security. Look at, she can only, have a pager. And she's supposed to be the head of security in the cult of Scientology, and all she can have is a pager. That's why they can't call and run out. They'll get punished and tortured if they even try. Y'all need to open your eyes. And the city attorney, representative, you sit down, look at Anthony Giamotto Jr. Y'all need to put a warrant out for arrest. From my understanding, LAPD has passed it on to y'all. He sits there every day and threatens people and to ruin their livelihood with careers. Just talking about sexually assault minors, elderly women, has pictures, and you don't even have to look at his videos. Look at his community posts. He can't control himself. He's all times in the night, all day, writing harassing statements on his community posts. And then y'all don't arrest him, but you arrest innocent protesters that's beating their cases or getting dismissed. Arrest a real predator. Somebody who already has a restraining order out on him, but sexually stalking a minor boy and talking about raping his mother. Anthony Giamotto Jr., CDT on YouTube.
Thank you, Kenny. We'll move next to.
Thank you, guys.
Amy's
Great.
iPhone, and
Great job, Kenny and Henry.
I do see 2 additional hands raised.
Awesome, Amy, let's go.
Would you like, President, oh, there's Amy's iPhone. Go ahead. Amy's iPhone, you have 2 minutes.
Yes, I raised my hand again. Okay, I wanted to know why certain people that are given a pass, like Scientology is not removing the planters. I want to know who's being paid off in your department to allow this to continue, and who is being paid off to allow the continued street closure of South Line Harbor Way. I think that there's something going on. I don't know who's allowing those planters to stay up. It's dangerous. People can't open their doors to get out. I can't imagine a mother with a baby and she's trying to get her kid out and the planters are blocking her way of getting her baby out. No mother's going to go, I have a baby, I was going to go on the main street and get my child out on the main road. And how are you going to, you can't, the door is locked. And who's going to push their door up, get their baby out, and then you're going to leave your baby outside and move your car back to the space? That's outrageous. And also, the person with the help sign, you know, I know that's not your purview, but that was exigent circumstances, and I don't know why you're not, why they didn't go in and inspect the building and see what was going on. I don't understand why you're not even going in and inspecting the crack that was on the building. That may not be your department, but it's very unsafe that you're allowing things like this to go on. It's like a 2-tiered society, rules for the cult and rules for thee. So I yield back my time, but I would hope that you do something about the safety, because it's a very big embarrassment to you that you're not doing anything about the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Great job, Amy.
Please.
No, Dan, they don't get to Q&As.
Hi, my name is Matt Bates. Can you hear me?
Yes, you have 2 minutes.
Perfect. So like many before me, I am also calling about the planters that are on the street. I don't understand why Audit LA has to come down to these meetings over and over and over again, just so she can make her point to get around the street. It's really ridiculous. I don't understand they've gotten a notice that these planters need to be removed, and still you guys are doing nothing about it. You're just letting this cult that you guys are supporting. And by the way, I don't actually think that it's great to have a street named after a felon, a ridiculous felon who only perpetuates child abuse. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why you guys are supporting this cult and their illegal construction that they're doing on the streets with no permits. It's a freaking tunnel that they built. I don't understand. They put in a street with child labor. All of those bricks were laid by children. It is ridiculous. Why are you guys supporting this? Everything that Mona and Audit and Kenny and Henry are saying is true. You guys need to look into this. The world is watching you. I'm calling from Chicago. I am not even a resident of LA, but I am watching what you guys are doing and it's disgusting. I yield back the rest of my time.
Great job, Snowface. Awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Case. And I do see 2 additional hands raised on the Zoom platform. President Davis, I'll ask if Yvonne Best wishes to offer commentary, public comment or commentary.
Let's go,
on
Yvonne.
any areas this morning. Yvonne?
Yes, thank you. I'm going to bring this around to your purview and the line of authority. Monday night at 8 o'clock, 433 Fountain Avenue, there was a construction heard being done, and this, of course, was done without a permit on record. The debris from all of this unpermitted construction is in the bottom of those planters. 2/3 of those planters are filled with construction debris that is from buildings from an era where asbestos and lead were common use. When the city comes and picks them up, please have all of that matter disposed in a hazmat approved dump, not a regular landfill. You must pick those things up, get them tested, dispose of them properly, and build the Scientology. Otherwise, you're creating hazard on top of hazard on top of hazard that will last a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do have 1 additional hand raised. Defender Ant, do you wish to offer public comment this morning?
Oh, I would love to.
Go ahead, you have 2 minutes.
Yes, do you guys understand who you guys are protecting? You're allowing these planters. These people literally believe that some dude went to the Galactic Federation, took a bunch of people, put them in ice cubes, dumped the ice cubes in a volcano. Then when those thetans or thetans came out of that volcano, they went on to people. And those people, you have to pay Scientology to get rid of these spirits. And how do you do it? They sometimes use children, 12 to 13 years old, in hotel rooms to ask those questions to get those thetans off. So this is who we're supporting. We're not supporting. I've been to jail 3 times this year, all charges dropped. I did 6 days in a cage, because I'm not afraid to speak up. I beat a restraining order two months ago, and had that slap suit that cost Francois Foster, the owner of Love and Bell, they have telephone poles outside, and they're coming out with erect penises on signs showing them the minors to put those logs back into the street. She owes our lawyer $175,000. On Monday, I successfully beat another restraining order against Kendrick Moxon. Y'all are liable to this. You have culpability because you're aware of what's going on, and you're going to end up in a Title 42 when our lawyers get our hands on you. Make something happen. Why are you being so quiet about it? Why aren't you speaking up? Why aren't you being the squeaky wheel?
And that's
you can make a difference.
Thank you.
Audit LA.
I have a big smile on my face for, because Commissioner Davis did it right. You let them present first and then let the community, so we can hear what we want to talk about. Sorry, I always forget. Thank you for the reminders. City Attorney, just a reminder that I talk comparisons and I do go into historical context for every single item that I will ever speak on. So, so Commissioner Davis, thank you for doing it the correct way for the people. Thank you for putting the people before the board. You're doing it right, and so see why I want you for president. And I hope you get that spot. But regarding number 1, you know, I'm excited to hear that there's going to be a Chinese American museum. I want to go. I think it sounds wonderful. The other thing I just want to remind and ask, though, with the commission, is to hold everyone, really like scrutinize permits. I have a feeling they're going to do everything by the book, because, only because in comparison, Scientology does not do it by the book. So it's just left me weary, on how things can go corrupted very easily and puts the public in danger. Like if they're doing building or anything like that unpermitted, they're not being overseen for how they dispose of things, because they're absolutely right that the rubble is going into the planters, and God help anyone, I feel bad for the public that they have to breathe this in. So I have a feeling you're going to do everything right. They look, so I support them, but please just make sure though that all the I's are dotted, and T's crossed, and but with everything that comes before you, all of it. Thank you. I yield back my time. Sorry. I have opinions about everything. First of all, I want to thank, first of all, thank you, Commissioner, for letting her go first, because I was just going to come up here and say, what, they want more money? Heck no, but when I hear what she's saying, it sounds like they're trying to do a program to actually help benefit the citizens to have better access, if I'm understanding correctly. Because right now, the permit, we're always trying to track these permits that Scientology is getting, and they're making it less accessible to the public. It's like they purposely don't want us to know what's coming or what's being approved. And so anything that helps the public do better, it's great. So, so that's what I mean by having them go first. We understand more clearly. And thank you, Commissioner Reyes, for asking the questions. And I heard you being very mindful about the budget and, where is this all coming from? You're thinking about the people's purse. And I'm going to give you a shout out and thank you for that, because, I'm going to say this every time too. LAPD gets the biggest lion's share of our budget, so everyone else has to, get whatever is left over and divvy it up amongst themselves. So thank you for being mindful of the budget. Thank you. And if you can ever, give the money back to the city when it's not needed, I ask you to do that. Let's always think of the people, the public, and because it's really. We appreciate everyone that does their job here, but it's really about the public. Thank you. I yield back the rest of my time.
Public comment, I apologize. Audit, Los Angeles, public comment.
Thank you. No apology needed, because I knew you'd get to me. But you're turning things around in the right way, so it's great. And I wasn't going to comment because they went first. They pretty much answered everything for me and all the good questions. I appreciate that. Like, this has been the best meeting in all the 6 months, and I love it. It makes me happy. But I did have a last minute question, basically because they're talking about the runoff and bacteria and stuff, and as it was brought up earlier, concerned about the the illegal. All the debris from all the illegal unpermitted construction and rubble, how is that going to affect the stormwater once it rains? And I don't know all the areas where they're doing it, but I hope it would include that area, because it's already known for a fact that they are doing illegal permit stuff. And you're dealing with asbestos, we don't know, and it's not being disposed of properly. So and if they're in these planters, this rubble's in the planters, and that water is gonna leak into our streets, and I'm worried about that. And that's just honest God's truth. And so I hope they can include that area when it comes to testing for bacteria or any other thing that's dangerous. Thank you. I yield back my time. Thank you.
I'm sorry, we do have someone with your hand raised at the Zoom platform. We should just it's the user, Yvonne Best, which is to offer commentary on the current item which we are on, which is item 3.
Yes, I would like, I applaud the testing. Once upon a time, I flunked tested my multiplication tables. I went back and learned my multiplication. The testing of the water reveals the problem. The real question needs to then be, what do we do to fix the problem? And I know that there have been efforts made, and included in that is doggy sanitation sites. Well, that should lead to the need for the human sanitation sites for, public restrooms, particularly in the areas of Hollywood Boulevard and the adjacent blocks where people can't find a public access to a restroom and they defecate on the curbs or in the streets. This eventually gets power wash or rain wash down into the drainage system. In the long term, we need to deal with what is causing the bacteria rather than just testing and saying, yeah, it's there. And I hope that this council or this organization here and the testing agencies come up with a plan to fix the problem, not just report on it. Thank you.
Great job, Yvonne.
We do audit LA, please the first lady, we now have 2 minutes to stop your commentary, and this is on item 6.
Okay, I remembered the microphone. And this one's going to be real quick because I'm going to reserve the rest of my time. Basically, since it's the Department of Sanitation, I am just going to ask you if you could please send them over and get rid of those planters on their way to doing this job. I yield back the rest of my time.
We do also have a public comment from Audit LA, this item number 5.
So just to clarify, everything else is pushed to another time, and this is the last agenda item for today?
No, just top for clarification. So the presiding officer, President Pro Tem Davis, has skipped item 8, but we'll return to that after we hear item 9.
Can I do a time check, including all my reserve time? And don't forget, public comment doesn't count.
So you have, so far you've used 6 minutes and you're allotted 10 minutes.
Oh, so we're good. So I can use my 2 minutes. Thank you. You guys get to hear me out for a minute. We're ready.
Go ahead and pull the microphone.
Oh, I'm going to get it. Thank you, Commissioner Grant. You came and you're already asking all the questions, and I appreciate that. So I don't know, Commissioner Corzine, who's going to get second spot, when he's president. We're going to have to see. He's okay, sorry. We had to have some levity here because we talk about serious stuff, right? The people's business. So on this one, again, it's this, it's the money thing. Just, I want you guys to be very careful with our money because we don't have a whole lot because LAPD gets and I'm not against them having a nice share of money. I mean, we need it's not anti-police anything, but they get so much that it really leaves everybody else to kind of fight for everything else. So I'm really mindful because we need you guys. We need all your maybe not all the projects, but we need projects. We need our infrastructure and everything. So I'm all for it. But again, just asking you because of, with the water resources and everything, we're very concerned about either the street flooding during rain, but also, like we said, the bacteria and everything that's going into our system and going into our water table. And, and I'm not the smartest person here. The other caller is you guys are much smarter. You know how it all works, but I just don't want anything getting into my drinking water, for me and my family. And so that's why we have to trust you guys to really make sure everything's done right, make sure the permits are correct, make sure everything that you're asking the tough questions. And I mean it when I said this has been my favorite meeting so far. It just has a nice different feel to it, and I hope this continues. But so I just want to remind you, please, and please not only remove, like I said, those planters, but make sure that they do it in a way that is safe for our environment, that before the rain happens. Thank you.
Yes, in the same theme, water goes downhill and so does the affluence of our sewage treatment plants. And my concern is that we don't address what is going into the sewage processor, and that includes the dust and microelements of the lead and asbestos of the mall street buildings built in the 20s to 30s and so forth. The outflow we know that the outflow into our oceans includes excessive amounts of caffeine and drugs and so forth are evidence as well, because the sewage treatment process doesn't clean that up. The sewage treatment process will not be cleaning up the asbestos and lead that is put into the environment and enters into the sewage treatment process. It will concentrate and make our oceans sicker than they already are. So again, I want to call attention to the importance of NPDES in their function of controlling the waste from the origin and making sure that it is not going to enter into the water stream. This is a very important fund to keep paying and paying on time. Thank you.
Great job, Yvonne.
Audit LA, this item number 8.
I'm remembering the microphone this time. Sarah. Okay, so we're almost wrapping this up. Again, with the Department of Sanitation, I actually appreciate everything they do. You know, I mean, they come and they help, you know, they take away the trash. You do a lot more than that. I don't really understand all of this, so it's like, I just hope we're not spending too much money on other counties. So, you know, like I said, they're smarter people than me. But when it comes to sanitation, I just want them to ask them to be more thorough. Like, what I've been coming here for, you know, to please remove the cement, the planters that are not ADA compliant. They're not fire department compliant, they're not anything compliant, but they also do at the same time, but before you remove them, which I'm hoping you will be ordered to do so very shortly, to remember that also to do like ecological, make sure it's safe to remove, that they don't just, because I wouldn't want the workers, especially union guy over here, all right, we got to protect our workers, that I would not want them to handle anything that's very hazardous. So I would really suggest to get a hazmat team out there and get the proper disposal of these planters as soon as possible. And I will yield back the rest of my time and wish everyone a wonderful weekend because you're closed Friday, right? So thank you.
And we do have one caller, Rich Andreas on Zoom platform. Yvonne, would you like to speak on that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I am concerned that the rate for the sewage includes a portion of which is refunding the city taxes on property that is a public utility. It seems to me that that is a portion of the sewage bill that is a duplicate payment by the property owners, whoever is paying sewer fees. It appears to be a bit of double dipping, in my opinion. The sewage company is a public works entity. We pay taxes for public works. Now we're paying taxes on top of that tax. The action, and I understand that this is how things have been done in the past, but it raises the question to me that if the consumer is already paying this tax from the fact that they are paying for the service, why is this a tax, property tax location, and therefore increase the sewer bills of everybody that is being billed for services? I'm not sure I've explained that correctly, but I think this is an unnecessary tax. I'm not with that.
Thank you.
Great job, Yvonne.